1. The steel player with a fragile mentality. Lucy Bronze, the name that makes many teams fear. She runs like the wind, kicks like a hammer, and defends as if the whole world depends on her. But no one knows, behind those unbelievable performances is a broken soul. Since childhood, Lucy had to witness her father, a former Portuguese soldier, always sleeping with a gun under her pillow. In a crazy world, only crazy preparation helps you survive, he often said. That saying was like a curse that followed Lucy until she became the top female soccer star in England. 2. Depression hidden behind a golden smile. When England won the Euro, Lucy burst into tears. But those were not tears of happiness. They were tears of extreme fatigue, days of sleeplessness due to anxiety disorder, nights when she kept a pistol next to her pillow because she always imagined someone would attack her. Every morning, Lucy doesn't go out on the pitch without checking every window and every lock. She lives in a penthouse equipped with a security system like the CIA. In her match suitcase, she always hides a mini Glock, not to attack anyone, but to make herself feel in control in this chaotic world. 3. Incident at training camp. In 2024, during a closed Lionesses training session, Lucy suddenly went crazy when she heard a firecracker going off outside the pitch. She rolled onto the pitch, shouted, "Everyone down," and pulled the gun from her personal bag. The coach and teammates were stunned. The incident was quickly hushed up by the English Football Association. They released a statement. Lucy is going through a period of psychological stress, needs to rest. But in reality, she was secretly taken to a special psychological center in Switzerland, which used to treat spies with PTSD. 4. The glimpse of light at the bottom. In the center, Lucy wrote dozens of letters, never sent. She confessed that the trap of strength had killed her youth. She was afraid of the dark, afraid of noise, afraid of victory. Because each victory made her worry that she would lose everything again. A young Vietnamese doctor named Thien approached Lucy with art therapy. He let her draw, and the first picture Lucy drew was not of the football field, but a gun melting into tears. 5. Return, but not to win. Lucy returned after 8 months. She no longer kicked like a hammer, nor ran like the wind. But for the first time, people saw Lucy Bronze smiling gently in a charity match, competing with children. The Glock gun now sits in a glass case in her bedroom, not for use, but as a testament to her journey out of the darkness. 6. The ghost behind you. Lucy Bronze begins therapy and regains her spirits after a treatment in Switzerland. She agrees to take part in a BBC documentary about mental health in women's sport. During the first shoot, Lucy appears calm, but when the director suggests returning to her old apartment, where she once hid a gun under her pillow, Lucy's face turns pale. "I don't want to go back there. In that place. I wasn't a footballer. I was a prisoner in my own home." No one understands why Lucy is so afraid of that apartment, until they return, and discover a hidden wall behind a bookcase, covered in handwritten notes, all imaginary conversations, repeated warnings. "They're watching me. No one believes me, only guns listen to me." 7. The code in the drawings. After the shoot, the director gives Lucy a copy of the drawings she made in the treatment center. A psycho-visual expert notices something strange. All of Lucy's drawings show a boy wearing a baseball cap, lurking behind a fence. At first they think it's a picture of Lucy's childhood, but no, Lucy has never mentioned a brother. During a therapy session, Lucy quietly confesses, "I don't know who that boy is. But I see him, in every dream. Always standing behind me, saying nothing, but he's always hiding something in his hand." 8. The top secret document. An independent reporter named Ella McGrath begins investigating players who were on Lucy's team and discovers that at least 3 had also been in private psychological treatment after spending so much time with Lucy. They say, Lucy often wakes up at 3 a.m., walks around the hotel checking security. She never sits with her back to the door. She once locked her room door for 3 days, just to write down strange codes in black ink. Ella followed the lead and discovered Lucy's father, Paolo Bronze, was not missing as the press had reported. He was being isolated in a mental security institute, a former high-ranking figure in the MI6 special unit. A former teacher said in a secret file, Paolo once believed that his wife was being followed by an underground organization within FIFA. And he passed on all that paranoia to his daughter. 9. Dreams and Hell. One night, Lucy woke up from a strange dream. She found herself standing in the middle of an empty stadium, gun in hand. Outside the net were thousands of spectators, but everyone was blindfolded. One of them, the boy in the hat, stepped into the middle of the field, and said, "You don't need the gun anymore, Lucy. But you have to remember, who put it in your hand the first time?" Lucy screamed, waking up, and what made her shiver was not the dream, but the boy's hand taped under her bed, a scribble exactly like the picture. 10. The Girl on the Side of History. The BBC cancelled the documentary. The FA was silent. And Lucy? She disappeared from social media, from football, and was last seen in a blurry photograph taken in Morocco, holding a child, her face obscured. Ella McGrath, the journalist who investigated the case, left a note in her diary. Lucy Bronze is not crazy. She is just saner than the rest of us in a world that pretends to be normal. Note: no more matches. Shortly after retiring from football and disappearing from the media, Lucy Bronze was found in a small wooden cabin on a lake in northern Scotland. She lived alone, almost isolated from society. No phone, no internet, no visitors. When the police came to check at the request of an old teammate, they discovered a haunting scene. On the table were hundreds of handwritten notes, not sentences, just repeated lines. "They are still watching me. I must not forget. A gun is the only friend that is loyal." In a drawer was a gun, the barrel removed, and a suicide note, but unsigned. On the wall, Lucy had drawn a stadium, deserted, covered in snow, where she stood alone on the goal line, no ball, no spectators. Under the picture was scrawled the words, "I just want to play one more game, without fear." The end. Lucy was taken to a long-term psychiatric treatment center in Sweden, which has a special care regime for people who have suffered from severe PTSD. She did not speak. She did not write. She did not respond to any sound, not even the referee's whistle that the doctor tried to play during the treatment. A few months later, the newspapers published a small notice on the last page. Lucy Bronze, the former England defender, is currently being treated for severe depression and post-traumatic stress disorder.